Welcome back to Risk Check Podcast. Tonight, we got a very, very special guest, my man Todd.
Hello, sir.
Welcome to Sotheby's.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's a flex.
A little bit of a flex.
Yeah.
Allow us to introduce ourselves. My name is Perry.
I'm Ben.
And I'm Rashawn.
And we make up the Risk Check Podcast. What are we wearing tonight, guys? What do we got on? Let me start with the man who never repeats a watch.
Okay. You guys put a lot of pressure on me.
Okay.
But cat's out the bag. I am repeating a watch.
Okay.
So we have Alex here. So if you've been following the show with this episode 49
It is episode 49. We're up
49 for probably about at least more than 40 of them. I've consecutively worn a different watch.
Very impressive.
On the show.
Not the last couple, but most of them, yeah.
Most of them. So I felt it was only appropriate to wear my Rolex Cellini. This one is very special to me. I think that in the future, this watch is going to serve me. Two-tone precious metal, something that you don't see from Rolex. Manual wound from Rolex. Of course, Rolex takes pride in perpetual movement and automatic timepieces. So I found this one to be a unicorn to actually to wear because Rolex isn't known for those kind of pieces.
Yeah.
It's a very nice
it's
watch.
a fire piece. I love the Jean Rousseau strap.
Yeah, John
It's a really
Rousseau
nice
strap.
touch.
Is that the new one you got
The
made?
pink lizard.
Yeah, pink lizard. I mean, it's breaking in really well. Very comfortable. Heard it like hell, like a new pair of like leather shoes. So I had to like break it in.
You
But
got your lizard boots on too?
I like that
Yeah.
watch because you can dress it down. You can rock it like
Yeah,
you're
it's
rocking it
fun.
with jeans, and you
Yeah.
can also put on a nice suit and wear it at the same time.
Of
so
course.
it's very versatile.
yeah, I mean, I got lizard boots on, so like it works perfectly.
For sure.
Alex, what are you rocking tonight? What do you brought?
I got my favorite watch, my everyday 5990
Okay.
Patek.
Yeah.
Shout out to my guy Cutler in Altair Jewelers.
Respect.
He's my Patek guy. So it's one of my favorite watches. I bought it for myself for my birthday last year. So it's just like my everyday. I love this watch. It's my thing.
Respect. I love
That's
that.
nice.
I'll go next. Tonight, I'm wearing AP.
That's the second day in a row you were in AP.
Maybe 5.
5? Okay.
I can get used to this. It's nice. This is the dual time. This thing is beautiful. 39 millimeter. Date indicator. I got the dual time zone, power reserve. This thing is fire. I love a asymmetrical design dial.
Yeah.
Just busy, but kind of weird in all the right places. This thing is fire. I'm really enjoying this. It's nice.
Beautiful watch.
My man here is double wristing tonight. What's happening?
So on the right wrist is the usual, the OP, the green.
Okay.
But the one I want to highlight tonight is a watch that I actually got. A friend hooked me up, a very special friend.
Very, very special.
A very, very special friend. So shout out to him. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have it.
Love that.
And also, I'm going to count it as a late Valentine's Day gift from MB&F.
Okay.
They owed me from the first raffle. So I'm wearing a Mad 1 red tonight.
Amazing.
So new to my collection and new to the show. Is very special. Watch, the way it tells time, the way it feels. The strap is crazy. The Reuters on top.
I love that piece.
So I'm gonna wear this for at least a week and see what happens.
The beautiful thing about like what MB&F is doing, it feels like Max Booster is taking his mantra seriously, Max Booster and Friends, and
Yeah.
now there's like a level of accessibility.
Yeah, I mean,
in terms
MB&F,
of being able to have like one of his
it's
products.
a brand that, I mean, it's hard to get into unless you have a lot of expendable income, right?
Yeah.
Like MB&F, easily 70 grand to start for most stuff. That's like kind of like worth having. That's actually wearable.
Crazy.
This retails for $3,000.
It's amazing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's crazy.
So you can buy into a crazy brand for $3K. Something
Yeah.
for everybody there.
Yes.
That's awesome.
That's
It's a
great.
good pick, my man.
Yeah.
So tonight we're here at Sotheby's for the luxury edit, the fine watches auction that comes up on March 7th. Just to let you all who are watching know, the exhibition is open to the public for the first week of March.
Yep.
And so I encourage all of you to come in and check out. There's some amazing pieces. We had a preview episode that we shot here with our people, Richard Lopez, Janet, and Christina. And we got to kind of go through the entire catalog for this go around. There were some favorites. I mean, one of mine I know was actually another AP.
Yeah, the East Klein. I've been staring at it all night.
was a good one of mine. But you can visit us on Instagram at RichCheckPod, and with plenty of content up there. We had the new episode up, as well as a link to follow to see the watches that are going up for auction on the 7th. Getting into the thick of things, my man Alex Todd. So you're pretty well known in some very particular circles as the guy to go to when you're looking for the right stuff.
Yeah, I could say that. You could say that. I guess.
Yeah, we'll get into that, but I want to get into. I mean, so what I know about you, you're a serial entrepreneur. You started out as a jeweler, but before that, I mean, obviously you had a love and an adoration for watches. I want to talk a little bit about that. I know you're from Brooklyn, but where did this love affair with watches start?
To be honest with you, even like as far back as I can remember, I always wanted and always loved watches. When I was a kid, I would save a couple of bucks and I'd go buy myself a Swatch, or I'd go buy myself a Fossil.
Yeah.
Or then like I'd thrive to one day get myself up to a Movado.
Okay.
You know, so
Yeah.
I'm talking about when I'm 13, 14, 15
Right.
years
Yeah,
old,
yeah.
you know. So I just always, it was always something about having a nice wristwatch.
Yeah.
And then, you know, when I started working and I started making some money, you know, I bought myself my first watch was Cartier Pasha.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Yeah, that was like when I turned like 17.
Mm.
And then my first like real watch that I was super proud of to put on my wrist, I got myself a Daytona.
Oh wow.
Like a Zenith movement stainless steel.
Yeah.
At that time it was like $7,500
Yeah.
at the time. That was the first watch that I like really was like, I'm flexing.
That's what.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, and ever since then I just love Daytonas.
Yeah.
You know, I have plenty different moderations, the stainless steel, Zenith movement. I have the new one, stainless steel. I have a rose gold one that I brought here. And I just super into Daytonas. And as you know, as I got older, my watch palette just kept increasing and increasing. And
As it does. It's a
you know,
rabbit hole. I try to tell
exactly.
people all the time.
Exactly. So just then when I got into the jewelry business, a lot of people would be, you know, asking me for jewelry, and I always be like staring them. You don't need the jewelry, you know. Let me show you what, you know, what's actually a decent investment that you can actually make some money on in the future and holds its value. And I was always pushing watches. And
Wow.
so I just always pushing watches. That was like just a passion of mine. And then like eventually with all my clients and everything, I would just somehow end up always selling them a watch instead of like they come to me for jewelry. I'd be like, nah, you buy this watch.
That's awesome.
You know, so just kind of progressed into it. But it just always, I was just, for whatever reason it was, I was just super into watches from a young age.
What year was that when you started your jewelry business?
It was like around 15 years ago, I believe. So,
Oh, wow.
So I was like 32, 33 years old.
What were you doing just before that kind of led you to it?
Man, I was doing so much. Okay. I was like, you know, I was doing private jets. I was in the private jet industry.
Okay.
I was in the real estate. I was doing real estate for a little while. A lot of high-end, all high-end, high-ticket priced items. So I was selling real estate in New York. It was all, you know, million-plus apartments, or, you know, when I was doing private jets, I was dealing with a lot of high-end, and obviously every flight was, you know, 20, 30, 40, 50, $100,000. So it was always something where high-priced items and just high-ticket items. It was just something that I was into and something I enjoyed. And in the beginning, I couldn't afford most of this stuff. You know, I was just, you know, building myself up. But, you know, it just took natural progression and, you know, started going to the jewelry by accident, got into jewelry. My mom, who's been in jewelry for the last 30 years.
Oh, wow.
I would never, ever would think that I would ever get into jewelry. It was like, not something I want to do. But some people ended up actually owing us some money on 47th Street.
Okay.
So I had to go and try to figure out a way to get our money that we lent them. And turned
So this started as like a family affair for you.
yeah,
This is a family business almost.
just kind of turned into going to 47th Street and then was like, oh, this isn't so bad. And kind of learning, you know, how the jewelers were making money. And, you know, obviously I was around so many watches and stuff like that, which was a passion of mine already. And I was constantly always buying new watches for myself while I was on the block. And then it just turned into something. And I partnered with somebody that had a lot of celebrity clients and stuff like that. And then just took off from there.
At the time, were watches already a big thing on 47th Street?
Yeah, they've been, ever since I can remember, watches
Yeah.
has been flooding 47th
Sure.
Street. You got to be careful out there because there's a lot of
Never
schlock
really know what's
houses.
what.
Yeah.
So, but if there's a lot of good reputable dealers
Yeah.
as well,
Yeah.
So if you're dealing with the right people and, again, watches is one of those things. When I got into the industry, we were buying watches. People were coming to us because we were able to get them a discount.
What period was this? What time frame year?
Even 5-7 years ago.
Really? Okay.
People were coming to us because we were able to get a Rolex discounted from
Right.
retail, AP
Yeah.
discounted from retail, RM discounted from
It's so
retail.
amazing how that was just like a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
It's
I
crazy.
mean, right before the pandemic, a year or two before the pandemic, everything was, you were able to get, people were not buying watches at retail.
No,
it
that's
was
true.
not a
No.
thing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, people that
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
that were in the know, you can go, you have a gray market dealer, and you can basically get 20, 30, sometimes 40% off depending on the model.
Right.
On a brand new model, not
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
a used model.
I know sometimes, like right before COVID and the pandemic really hit, people were getting gold Rolexes from ADs for a discount.
Yeah.
Not
Crazy.
nothing crazy, but definitely at least the tax was coming off.
Oh, 100%.
Wow.
I mean, I remember selling 41 millimeters when they first came out, the big,
The
big
Day-Day-
face
Day-Day
rollies.
twos?
Yeah, the big
Yeah.
face rollies. I mean, we were selling them for $32,000, $33,000 on the block. Sometimes, like I would buy 5980s. I remember Pateks for $60,000, $70,000.
Wow.
So I mean, it's like the people used to come to us because we were able to get them a discount.
Yeah.
And then I was like, why do people need to come to us when
Yeah, when
they
you're
can
going
just go to the
straight to the store.
stores now
Exactly.
and pay less than what they're now the dealers are all upcharging on almost everything.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know? So like that's when kind of like the game got a little fuzzy for me, and I was like, got to just make retail connects.
Yeah.
Now. It's
Yeah.
like the game completely changed.
Completely changed.
It totally flipped around. I mean, now every watch is going for over retail.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like having a gray market connect is not really the connect anymore.
No,
the
no,
connect
no.
is actually establishing
Having a
the
relationship.
retailers.
relations, with your retailers
Yeah.
and building, good foundations and having some type of relationships with the actual ADs.
Yeah.
Which is also tough because, Royal, AP took away.
Yeah, they
the
were boutique
majority-
only.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
took away, 99% of all their authorized dealers. RM doesn't have any authorized dealers. Rolex and Patek are the only ones that still have authorized dealers, and they're cutting down also.
They are.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah.
So it's a funny game. You just got to find
Yeah.
your.
Find your
your
lane.
You gotta
niche.
find the
Yeah,
in and
exactly.
make it.
So it's interesting because you've always had this passion for watches. You got your start in jewelry. And I take it that that's kind of where you cut your teeth and you built your business and you got your client base. I imagine, because I know, when you've been doing this hobby as long as someone like yourself has and you're passionate about it, you're always trying to show people what you think is the thing.
Yeah, for
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you got to look at this. And so I imagine you got all these guys that are coming in looking at jewelry. Like, what was it at what point did you realize, I got them? Now they're starting to flip and they want the timepieces.
Once you start getting, these watches and these wrist pieces on like all the influencers.
Yeah.
Like the real influencers, like
Yeah.
people that are respected in the watch industry. I think people start to flip and be like,
Yeah.
oh, he has this, I want that because this guy has it.
Yeah.
It's like I always try to be like the guy that influences the influencers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that was like my thing. Like I want to get what I feel is the hottest and dopest watches
Right.
on the dopest people in the world.
Yeah.
And like that, and in my opinion, I mean, if you got guys like Hove, who, because of him, I single-handedly feel like he's the guy that put AP on the map.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We spoke about that.
Yeah.
He put RM on the map.
Yep.
He had an RM 20 years ago when they first came out.
I know he had with the RM
He had the
02.
one.
Oh, he had the one.
Yeah, he had the one.
Wow.
Crazy.
He even no matter what he puts on, somehow it just becomes hot.
Yeah.
So it's dope to be able to, help him provide, get him or tell
The
him,
things that
feel
he's-
like what
yeah.
I think is dope, and for him to kind
So
of
is
follow
he,
my
so
lead.
it's funny. I want to talk about that too because, like, this is someone that we admire greatly for his accomplishments, but also, it's sort of like that quiet nod because, vicariously listening to his music that he's always kind of been into watches, but people are really only now starting to catch up. with how deep he's been into it for how long. What's that been like to kind of help him curate his collection?
It's a dream come true for me, just be honest with you, it's something that I admire and something that I just feel is super dope, and that we're on the same wavelength. And there's a lot of times, I might shoot him a watch and be like, he's like, that's not it. You know what I mean?
How often is that?
You know what I mean? I have pretty good taste, I feel like. So, majority of the stuff he likes or suggestions that I give him, he takes. But yeah, there's times that's not it. He's got.
Is he into the independence at all?
Right, not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. I'm hoping to get him there.
Yeah.
And I'm not even into them really yet that much, to be honest with you. I bought one that I'm starting to with right now.
Let's talk about this. So you did bring some watches through for us, and there's an indie brand here that I'm not very familiar with. But here's what you don't know. We have our resident watch encyclopedia, our Rain Man.
You're giving me too much credit.
This guy, you put something in front of him, it's like that. He knows what it is in an instant.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to wine it.
So I'm doing it for. He's gonna take me like 10 minutes to wind it.
It takes a little while. They got a piece. Actually.
Yeah, I know.
That it winds.
While Ben is firing this,
I'm literally gonna be here for 10 minutes. So take your time.
I think when you were telling your story, just in how you are curating these influencers collections, especially someone that's at the pinnacle, like Jay-Z. It speaks to the credibility that you have and the tastefulness that you have in the eye for watches. So there's a couple of timepieces that have been on Jay that has been on like the I say the less beaten path. Has there been anything that you suggested that you were like, oh shoot, he actually like wore it?
Yeah, Jay's got an unbelievable palette for watches. Even like before I was messing with him, he had the RM before I ever suggested an RM.
I think that's a major point too, because they're super hot now, but you're talking about 20 years ago.
Yeah.
When no one knew what they were.
They released in 2003. No
one cared to
Yeah.
be ahead of the curve then. Like this is gonna grace my wrist. This is cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty big.
It's very, he's got that foresight, and which is amazing, But he, when it comes to Hove, he's very particular. He knows what he likes. He knows he's not gonna just like he's got to really like it. It's not. He's not gonna be like, oh, just because it's an RM, I'm gonna put it on my wrist. He's really gotta like it.
Yeah, he's past the point of like trying to compete with anybody. He's into what he wants.
In my eyes, he's the top when it comes to celebrity. Watch collectors. He's
pinnacle,
top of the game.
What are you looking for when you look at brands? So like we have this watch here.
Of all the things you could have went to, you went to a Pernell.
A Pernell. This is interesting. What was it about this that you were just like, I get it?
So the fact that double turb,
triple axis double
turb, the fastest tourbillons on the market, like 3 times faster than any other tourbillon that's out on the market right now. I think that it's a fairly new company. Yeah, they've only been around for a couple of years. I feel like they're about to really start blowing up. I like the design. I fuck with it. It's comfortable, and it's something that I feel like is about to blow up.
They've been all over my Instagram feed lately.
Really?
All over.
You know what this makes me kind of like think of too, and I wonder if you have your finger on the pulse on this as well, because Swiss has been kind of champion De Bethune.
Yeah.
Is that like a brand that you kind of connect with? Have you thought about it?
To be honest with you, not for me.
Okay.
Just not something I'm super into. Be honest.
Have you been around?
I don't like. I like that's a circular.
Yeah.
I don't like the all crazy funky like that. Even that it's circular. It's just like the triangles. And
like Star Trek.
Yes.
You ever try one on?
It's just not for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just not something I feel like aesthetically would just go with my style. You know what I'm saying?
You're not gonna be able to wind it. You need the tool because the mainspring gets so tight you can't hand wind it anymore.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
This thing is beautiful though.
Yeah, it's dope. And they start this. They don't sell anything but tourbillons.
Yeah. Yeah.
So to me, it's just like a piece. You know what I mean? It's like
It transcends like I'm trying to flex right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's not
like,
that.
you're not going to see a bunch of people wearing it.
No, no, I think that's kind of the
what I
biggest
love.
thing too.
You know
is
what I'm
like,
saying? Like, I like watches that you're not going to see like every single person rocking.
Yeah.
I feel like
You
you
know?
move into it when you collect watches for a long enough time. At some point, your taste change. You're looking for something else to experience, right? But you're also looking for something that's like a lot less pedestrian. You don't want to be in the same circles with everyone that has the same watches. You want to be the guy that's like,
I want people to come and be like, "Yo,
What the hell is that?"
Exactly.
on your wrist? Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck is that?" And it's
Right.
like, "Oh, that's this new shit that's coming out."
Yeah.
yeah,
And I think it's they have this amazing watch engineer Kudrow who's was with does movements for Jaeger.
okay.
So I mean, I just fuck with it, and we'll see what happens in the future. We'll maybe be able to do something with them.
Yeah.
And
Is this the only printout you have?
yeah, it's the only one I have for now. But
What do you like in terms of complications?
I like tourbillons.
Yeah.
I'm a turb guy, but
Yeah.
honestly, I fuck with everything.
Yeah.
As long as, to me, it's all about like the aesthetic look.
Okay.
To me, most importantly.
Yeah.
I mean, the insides of the watch, I'm not such a technical.
Yeah.
Like, there's some really big watch
Yeah.
nerds that'd be like,
Sure.
Yeah. Start spitting references.
yeah.
You're at the
I'm
right
just like,
place,
bro,
trust me.
I'm the furthest thing from like one of these like watch nerds that'll tell you exactly what's going on and the intricate details.
But this is
of
still
the
pretty. This is like
movements.
high horology.
I mean,
So,
that's
like,
that's a
it
watch
is.
nerd's watch.
It is.
It is.
100%.
But it's
It is.
beautiful, so everyone can appreciate
like
it.
what I liked about it is just like the double turb spinning and like,
Yeah. And the
like
blue cage
just
is nice,
the
too.
aesthetic, just the aesthetic of it. I like this watch. I like white watches. There's not too many that I fuck with. I love like the AP,
The white ceramic.
Oh yeah.
and I love all the RMs,
Yeah,
the white
the
ones. I
Bubba
got a
Watson.
couple. I have a RM 1103 Le Mans, which I love. That's the white watch that I have, and I just got a 3503
Okay.
Nadal.
Yeah.
So
Oh, the Nadal.
Yeah, the
That's a
Nadal.
fire piece.
yeah,
Yeah.
You got white and blue or white and pink?
white and blue.
Yeah.
yeah.
I like the white and pink the most.
That one's a
but-
turb.
Yeah, I
yeah.
know.
That one's a little bit. That's like $1 million and change right
Yeah.
now. So yeah, I'm still not at the $1 million watch yet, but hopefully
Eventually.
we'll get there soon.
How many watches do you own?
I don't know exact number, but
Could you wear one for every episode we've had so far?
probably not. I'm like getting around 20.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Damn, Sean got you beat.
This man has 50 watches.
Yeah.
I don't have a big enough collection as this though. That single watch is the
This is
entire watch
beautiful.
collection.
Sounds like $1 million.
You also you brought some pieces. We were talking about like what to bring, and you brought some stuff that means something to you. So I want to touch on that a little bit too, because there's some pieces in here.
Yeah.
So you got this, and you talked about your love and your affection for like Daytonas.
Exactly.
So we have this gold Daytona piece here. Talk a little bit about this. How did this fall into your collection? What happened when you acquired this?
Jigga Man gave me this as a gift.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Jay-Z gave that to you.
Yeah. Jay-Z
That's
gave
amazing.
this- Yeah. He was having a charity event,
Okay.
and the invitations to the charity event.
I heard about this.
Yeah, we seen that.
Hold on,
Yeah,
time out.
yes.
We got to talk about that's a crazy flex.
Yeah.
These are watches that at the time, I think when he had this party, because I heard about this and it was like a charity event. It was poker was involved, right?
It was
Yes.
a blackjack tournament.
a blackjack tournament. But this is at a time where even
Daytonas
getting
are
this,
hard to get.
This is very difficult to get.
Yes.
And my man is the super plug.
Yes.
Here's the invitation.
I remember. Yeah, everybody was getting all.
That's
you seen all the
incredible.
videos,
Yeah.
and it was like gift from home.
What
invitation from home.
okay, so you're chilling at home, you're wherever you're at, you get an invitation. What the hell is going through your mind when this thing comes to the door?
I mean, it's pretty dope. You get a nice bottle of Ace and a Rolex
Did
box.
it was
comes
it
with
was in
the
did it come
invitation.
did you see the Rolex box when
Yeah,
it
it
was
was a
presented to
Rolex
you?
box and a bottle of Ace and the invitation to the event.
And then you open up the box and
I mean, I kind of knew what was in there.
okay.
already. But yeah,
You
in
helped
all
pick them,
honesty,
didn't you?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
helped put
Yes.
it together. But
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, I knew what was going on. But it was still amazing just to be able to be part of that
Hell yeah.
exclusive group that were invited and was able to get this watch. And
This
that's
is
why
priceless.
One of them I'll never sell. One of my watches that I'll never sell.
Yeah,
or
how could
trade,
you?
So
No way.
it means a lot to me. And yeah, that's how this one came about. It's beautiful.
So you helped sort of like put this together. You were helping
Yeah.
like source the pieces.
Yeah, I was helping them out.
How
at
was
time.
the how did
I mean,
you
it's
guys
not easy to get 30
Heck no.
It's not easy to get one.
30 Daytona.
How did you guys arrive at deciding that this was the one that we were going to pursue? And
I mean, he
and get
wanted
for
something
people?
that was a Rolex, and you know, something obviously that's dope, that
Yeah.
people are gonna enjoy
Yeah.
and wear. And I mean, to me, like I said, Daytonas are my favorite Rolexes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just feel like all around, just classic. Can wear them with jeans, can wear them with a suit,
Yeah.
and just like the perfect Rolex to me is a Daytona.
yeah, wow.
Yeah, you went for something that's not just okay. It's a Rolex. You went for
Exactly.
Precious
that's what you
metal.
went for. Yeah,
Yeah.
That ever rose.
Yeah.
blacked out too.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
good one.
And yeah, there was a bunch of dials that were given out to different people. So
Oh, wow. So there
It
were
wasn't
different
like-
like
yeah, it
variations.
was-
Not everyone
yeah.
got the same thing.
Not
I think
everyone.
someone got a
chocolate dials.
But everyone got a
was it
Daytona.
Somebody
got
got
a
John
chocolate.
Mayer.
I
Anybody
don't
get
think
John
so.
Mayer?
No.
No.
Nah, it was just like different variations of whatever that year dials were. It was
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a
yeah.
chocolate, white face,
Yeah.
black face. I don't
That's
remember
awesome.
exactly what it was.
Yeah.
How did the 5990 find itself in your collection?
It's just the watch that I always wanted.
Okay.
And I wanted to buy one when I could have bought it for like on the block a while ago for 50 grand. Then all of a sudden after the pandemic, it was like $150,000, $200,000. I was like, pissed off that I didn't get
Yeah.
it. And I just, reached out in my relationship with Patek, and they were able to secure me one.
That's amazing.
My boy Cutler, was able to get me one at list. So,
Yeah.
so it was lucky, and it was my birthday, and I just decided to buy myself a gift for my birthday.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Is this your
It's my-
first Patek, or do you have others?
I have a few Pateks, but I have a few Pateks. At the time, I was in and out of them.
Okay.
This is the first one that I actually kept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it for you about Patek that like kind of resonated with you when you? Because Patek is such a
It's like an acquired taste.
not only is it an acquired taste, I think for a lot of people who start their watch collecting, if once you get to Patek, there's been growth,
100%.
right? Because you're not trying to check the same box, right?
For me,
yeah.
Patek came after the Rolexes, after the APs,
Yes.
after the RMs. Like that's
Yeah.
when I went and stepped up. Felt like I'm old and grown already.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
It's older,
Yeah.
grown, more sophisticated, and just more like classy and just like.
What is it about them that you really enjoy?
I mean, everything. I mean, the aesthetic of it. This is a beautiful watch, dual time zone. Just, I mean, everything that you would want in a watch, I feel like this watch has.
Yeah.
And again, it's another watch that you can dress down or dress up. So, like, to me, that's very important because I'm not a big suit guy.
Yeah.
So I like to be able to put a watch on with a suit if I do happen to wear one.
Sure.
But to me, it's like I like to wear hoodies, sweats, and jeans, and just like be able to rock this with anything. You know?
Yeah,
for sure.
And it's just to me, this is just like the perfect watch, sized and just like the way it looks and just everything about it to me is just like love this thing.
Yeah.
So pretty much my everyday watch.
I love that.
Yeah.
The 5990 should be an everyday watch.
Yeah, it's my everyday.
You don't ever
so-
have to take that off.
Yeah, I love this watch.
Yeah. What is it like now seeing like because you've been doing this a while, and now you're seeing the culture starting to grow, where you have like a lot of like the younger guys getting into collecting watches now. You got guys who are just starting their career, in the professional space, or in an entertainment space, or the athletic space, and now they're coming to you or consulting guys like you and asking about watches. What is that? How's that?
That's great. I usually just tell them buy a Rolex. Yeah. The first watch, buy a
Yeah.
Rolex.
Get a Rolex.
Get a Rolex.
What about the guy that comes
your
up to you
feet
and is
wet.
like, "I want my first watch. I want the RM."
Be like, yo, you're doing it. Listen, if you can go out there and spend, $200,000 for your first watch,
Yeah,
that's dope.
Yeah, who's to stop
I mean,
you?
and even more in some cases, because it's like,
most cases,
how are
yeah.
you getting? I mean, most guys aren't getting that retail. They don't
Yeah,
have the access.
100%. That's what I'm saying. It's like, if you could do that. At the same time, though, like I feel like if you have an RM, you should have
You should have
everything.
You should have
Yeah.
a few other pieces.
Yeah.
So I'd be like, instead of buying one, buy like 3-4 other joints, and then move on to the RM.
Yeah,
That's what I would recommend. But if you're doing it and you're making a lot of money, why not? It's all about your palate, right? If that's what you want, but it shouldn't be like I want an RM because I just want to.
Yeah.
Because I want an RM and I want everyone to know that I got
Yeah.
yeah,
$500,000 on my wrist. you know?
yeah.
Yeah, you crawl before you run.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you said you have 20 watches. I feel like by the time you cross the threshold of like maybe 3 or 4, at this point now you're a watch collector, right? Like your choices are now probably less emotional, more intentional. What's your perspective on building a watch collection? What is Alex Todd looking for in terms of like curating his watch collection?
I mean, like, it's just when new watches come out right now, Watches and Wonders are going to come out.
Yeah, it's
right?
coming. Watches and Wonders in a couple of
March.
weeks.
Yeah, a couple of weeks. So I'm sure there's going to be something there
Definitely.
that catches my eye. Just like last year or 2 years ago when I saw the 5990 with the blue face, which I'm still waiting for, Cutler. So, like, you know, I just see something that I really love, and I'll be like, I need to get that for myself. It's just about the aesthetic look, really, honestly, and what catches my eye and what I think is, you know, is fly.
Okay.
Yeah. Is there anything that did it for you or last year or something you hoping to see this year?
I don't know, honestly, I'm excited to see what Patek's going to do. You know,
What'd you think about the latest novelties release that they did?
Patek?
It was in November, right?
Yeah.
They had left-handed.
Yeah, honestly.
It was a lot of dressy stuff.
Yeah. See, I'm still not into like the regular dressy circle watches.
You like the sporty pieces.
Yeah, just my aesthetic.
How about that rainbow aquanaut?
Sick watch.
That,
But for my wife.
okay.
I think
it's a bigger watch.
It's a 39.
It's not sized like a lady's aquanaut.
It would.
For me, for example, I can't wear a rainbow watch.
You know what?
I'll tell you a story. Like when the Rainbow Daytona came out, I got one. I was put one on the side for my mom. You know, and
Shout out to Mom. He put a Rainbow Daytona to the side for his mom.
ended up selling it to Floyd Mayweather.
Okay.
It's the worst mistake I ever made.
Yeah.
It was a pave
So
dial and
instead of
bracelet.
my mom getting no, it wasn't pave. It was just the regular with the bezel, with the rainbow bezel. It was like when it first came out, I paid like 90 grand for it.
Wow.
And the worst mistake of my life. I ended up selling it to Champ, and watch skyrocketed to $500,000. Should have been on my mom's wrist. Instead, I've sold it to Floyd for like made pennies on the deal. So yeah, it's like certain things like that. And the same thing with like with the watch you're talking about with
the Aquanaut.
with the Aquanaut. You know, we just made it happen and got one on the wrist for Kev.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and so like he could, I feel like, pull that watch off. Certain people could. Me personally, just just I can't see myself wearing.
I don't know.
a
Man.
rainbow
Personal
watch.
style, rock that shit.
Just my style. I'm not saying
The
good or
retro.
bad.
Yeah.
It just I can't walk around with a rainbow
No, I
watch.
feel so.
And
It's
I-
funny
you know
because
what I'm
we
You
saying?
ever
talked
think
about.
that is it the color?
I don't know, bro. I just
Is there something about it?
I don't know how to. I don't know which way to put
I
it.
felt that way
it's just
about.
like for me personally,
Yeah.
I can't see myself wearing a rainbow watch, man.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's I'm too masculine
the
or whatever
same
it
way.
is. I don't know what exactly it is. I just can't. I don't know. I can't put it together for
I
myself.
felt the same
It's a
way
sick watch,
until I
it's
tried on a
crazy.
Rainbow Daytona. Then I was like, it's kind of nice.
right? And like the same thing with the Rainbow Daytona. If I really loved it, like I
Yeah.
would have kept it for myself. But it was just something about that I can't. The rainbow.
It's flashy.
I don't know. It's like
just a little more flashy than.
Do you wear diamonds on your watch? No.
nah. But I'm not opposed to like if something is factory.
Yeah, of course.
I won't, no bust downs, no.
Yeah.
Has anyone ever come to you and asked you to do that?
All the time.
What do
Did
you
you turn them away?
do? You oblige or do
I'll
you?
tell them, I'll give them my advice, and I'll be like, this is stupid.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? You're ruining the watch.
Yeah.
Yes.
But if they insist, I'm not going to. Well,
not gonna
I'm
turn.
not really right now. I'm not really doing this type of stuff anyway right now.
Yeah.
I'm like doing other things. I'm not really selling watches on a daily basis. But if someone comes to me and be like, I need a bust down, I mean, okay. I mean, I'll recommend you against it. I'll try to convince them with all my power.
Yes.
But there's some people that are just stubborn.
Yeah,
and
that's
they're
what
like,
they want.
This is what I want, and I'll make it happen.
I
for
feel like
them.
a lot too, like with
You know?
the young guys who are like just getting into it. Yeah, if your second, third watch, that's probably what you want. Like first you want a Rolex, and then you're like, I need that ice.
Bro, we were the first people to bust down watches. And like
Yeah.
for Champ, like Floyd was like
Yeah,
the
Floyd
first
stuff is
person
crazy.
to bust down a Patek. Like when we did it, like it's stupid, but
Yeah.
we'll do it. You know what I'm saying? Like we were the first
Did you think that while it was happening?
like
you were
we
like, we gonna be
literally
the first
created
ones to
that
do this?
trend. You know what
Wow.
I mean? Like of busting down, and like it's not something that I wanted to do. It
Yeah.
just happened. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And but the problem is then people just start getting greedy, bro.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
they start making these watches with fake mechanisms.
I know, yeah.
Fake dials.
That's what I wanted
fake.
to talk
Yeah, they
about.
start penny pinching.
It's like the whole watch is now all they do is make a fake case.
Yeah, it's
and
just a fake everything,
movements, and they put the diamonds in them, and it's
There's
just
some
like,
pretty wild stuff we've seen.
so that type
recently.
of stuff, it just gets like way overboard and like, becomes like kind of gross to me, and just like.
I wanted to ask too because you spoke about the Diamond District and 47th Street, and we have really good friends of ours like Ryan that does business on 47th Street in the Diamond District, and he talks about that like the Diamond District is the mecca for watches globally.
100%.
And you do have people that do really good business, someone like yourself, but there are people that are very greedy, and you use greed. And taking advantage of a less knowledgeable consumer.
100%.
Because we're sitting down here, we're at Sotheby's, not putting you in a box, but it would be said that you'd be like the hip hop jeweler or so on and so forth. But, you're talking about watches and wonders. So for someone that's like less educated, you throw watches and wonders and you start talking about Geneva and horology, like, their heads bust.
100%.
So the level of knowledge that you have and the integrity that you have, how do you separate yourself from the rest?
I'm not on 47th Street anymore.
Okay.
I think that's the name of the episode.
That's key.
I'm not on 47th Street anymore. And again, like you said, it is the mecca though of like watches and jewelry. There's good apples and there's rotten apples.
Yeah.
And to me, I wouldn't consider myself a hip hop jeweler.
Of course. And I didn't, sorry.
No.
Yeah.
And I would consider myself somebody that deals with the industry.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the culture.
Yeah.
And, I feel like, the culture is what really drives everything.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So like when Kevin's wearing something or Hove is wearing something, that's what really makes these watches hot. It's not about what's going to happen in Watches and Wonders. It's about who's going to be wearing those watches after Watches and Wonders.
Yes.
That's what really takes it to the next level. And, so to me, just I feel like honesty, integrity, and just, having the best intentions for the people that you cater to will always get you to the level where you need to be.
Yes.
Because
Values.
you can sell you can do one deal and sell a guy a watch and bang him in the head, and eventually they're gonna come back and want to trade this watch.
Yep.
Well, you know what I'm saying? So it's
you're
like,
not gonna want to take it back.
who's gonna want to take that watch back? It's like you're gonna be like, oh, you just lost 70% of what the watch is. So to me, it was always important to like sell people something that you wouldn't mind taking
It's something
back.
you can stand by.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So like
yeah.
if someone ever wanted to trade it back, I'd be happy to take it back.
Let's go.
Absolutely.
Let's do it, because I know it's a great piece. I know that it's gonna somewhat sustain its value.
Yep.
And I have pride in putting some of these watches on these people and
I think that's the key
wrists.
piece, right? Like you come across something that is special, someone might want to offload it, and you're like, yo, I might have the perfect person for this. I know someone that would love to own this piece.
For sure.
Absolutely.
And that changes everything.
And most of the people that I sell these watches to never really sell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once they buy something, it's like tucked
Yeah.
away into their collection. Very rarely do they sell watches, but there is times, they get sick of something or they want to trade for something or it's just
They don't wear
they're
it.
not into it anymore.
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
tastes change and evolves. It's
Yeah.
only natural if someone want to do that.
100%. It's like, and then there's just people that just don't. They just want to collect, and there's just no sell in their vocabulary.
It's kind of it's true.
Yeah.
It's all different types of customers, all
Yeah.
different types of people, and
Yeah.
so it's.
So in terms of your perspective on watch collecting and the industry, what do you think of some of the trends that you've been seeing now?
Man, it's crazy what's going on in the watch industry.
Right.
I mean, I would never in a million years think that watches would be trading for so much over retail.
It's crazy.
It's unbelievable to me. I don't even know how or why it's happening,
Yeah.
to be honest with you. I mean, it's just boggles my mind.
Yeah.
Because I know what I used to pay for these watches and compared to where they are right now is just worlds apart.
Yeah.
So it's just like I was telling you earlier in the show, people used to come to us because we can get them discounts.
Yeah.
Now you gotta to do somebody a favor. It's like I plug them with my ADs.
Yeah.
I'm not even looking to make money. I just want you to take care of my.
How mind blowing is that
You know?
for like some of the guys you're talking to? Because like you were the guy who, I could get this for you, but it's like, bro, if I do this for you, it's economically it might not even make sense for you at this point.
No, like 100%. Like that's why I don't even sell watches anymore to the majority of these people. My good customers, I won't even sell them a watch really. I'll just plug them with an AD that will take care of them so they don't get hit in the head. Because I can't even come to be like Kev, this watch is 250,000 over list. I just can't. You know, it's like I'll be like, Kev, let me introduce you to this AD over here at Patek. He'll take care of you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And all I want in return is a couple watches for myself. You know what I'm saying? That list, so I don't get my head busted.
Bring you a really great
You know
client.
what I'm saying?
I got a really great referral.
Yes.
That's it. You know, like I'm not even asking. I don't want to make any money on this. I don't want anything. Just do me a favor, and you know, when I want to watch, just don't bust me in the head. You know what I mean?
Heck yeah.
So
it's funny because like even we were just talking about watches and wonders before, and then we were talking about the guys that are coming up as tastemakers. How interesting is it now to see like where the culture has ascended to where it used to be like sneakers, right? Then it was like fashion, then it's moved to art, and now it's like, yo, there are guys that are involved in the culture that could make and break a brand, a watch company.
100%.
Like if we wear your watch, it's on fire.
100%. It's amazing to see.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I mean, like I said before, you got a couple of tastemakers, influencers that really can dominate a watch brand.
Yeah. I mean, we talk about like even Hove, right? Like, so you have, I think about like the contribution he made to like AP and how, and how AP is seen today, but he was instrumental in like really making AP a household name here in the US. You got this piece. Talk a little bit about this and how this found itself in your collection.
This was the first AP that I ever bought. Actually got it. My mom gave it to me as a gift, actually, for my 25th birthday. That's why I probably still have it.
Yeah.
So it's sentimental for me. This is the Juan Pablo Montoya. I think it's limited to 500 pieces. Wow. It's number 55. My birthday is the 5th. So my favorite number is 5. So it's pretty dope. It's number 55 out of 1,000, actually.
Wow.
So I'll never sell this watch either. Again, this is the watch that got me into AP. And I think, honestly, like I mentioned to you before, I mean, AP is because of Hove. I mean, he's the first guy that I've seen rocking. I was like, what is that?
Yeah.
You know, like when he busted out with the rubber clad, I don't even know what year it was, but I was like, oh, that's different, you know? And ever since then, I mean, I feel like he's put the watch on its, put them on the map, like with the culture.
Yes. No,
I
definitely.
mean, obviously, AP's been around for
forever.
Forever. But in terms of the culture, this man single-handedly.
And he did, and that's what's so great about that company. And this is the reason why I love AP, because when you talk about the power and the influence of co-branding and associations with people as brand ambassadors, their CEO Francois, I feel like was a kind of a pioneer in understanding this early. As someone who seeked out Jay-Z, 20-something years ago, and was like, yo, we should do a watch together.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think is incredibly, just like his level of foresight that he had, really set the industry ablaze. What's even more interesting to me about this piece is that you got this when you were 25, and your mom bought this. What was she thinking about? Like, she was that ahead of the curve? She kind of knew? Or?
Nah, she asked me, obviously.
Okay. I was about to say, mom's like, I'm giving my boy an
Yeah,
AP.
I told her, I told her that I wanted to buy that for myself. And she ended up actually just buying it for me for my birthday.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I've been lucky.
But even still, so you were way ahead.
Yeah,
at that point,
20-something years ago.
Yeah, no one was really, outside of like Hove. Like, even when you listen to lyrics, like I remember that verse he did on A Blueprint 2. I was a kid. I was like, I didn't know what the hell he was talking about. I had no idea what he was talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Audemars Piguet with the alligator strap. I was like,
Yeah.
Sounds cool. That's a great line.
I'll
What
show
is
you how
that?
to do this, son.
Absolutely.
Have you ever got your hands on his signature
This watch be a
offshore?
one of one.
Yeah, none
Yeah.
before, none to come.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was one of our mantras. Like, that's what we try to get. Like, and now like Jay's got like the one of one
The
blue
RMs.
RM. You know, the one of one green sapphire RM.
He's got he's
Yeah.
got crazy
Did
stuff.
you have any role to play in like the designing or ideas or anything when it came to that watch?
Nah, I didn't have anything to do. I just had a lot to do with getting it on his wrist.
Sure.
There we go.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
He even has the advanced research Aquanaut
Yeah.
that they have here. I remember I saw a picture of him rocking that.
5650G.
That was, I think that picture was when I first started to see that, like him wearing Paddock publicly. Because I had never really seen him wear it publicly that often. Or maybe we weren't even really just looking at that
I think the
time
first
back
one
then.
that I remember him really wearing was that 6300.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you help him get that?
Yeah, helped him a little bit with that one.
Nice.
I remember that was just like, I actually bought that watch not knowing who I'm going to sell it to.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I had in my mind,
Yeah.
I'd love for Jay to buy this because I just knew like how special the watch was. And we purchased that watch. It was a crazy deal, but I'm not going to get into all that.
Sure.
But it was like
Yeah.
so many like moving parts. And
Yeah.
like, I was like spending $2.5 million
Yes.
at the time.
Oh, of course.
And not knowing, and it's not
Yeah.
like the watch market now where
Right.
I know it's $2.5 million, but it's really worth $8.
Yeah.
Right.
At that time, it was worth $2.5 million.
No, sure.
You know, it was worth what I was paying for it.
Yes.
And I mean, I had the foresight that eventually that it would obviously appreciate in price.
Sure.
But it was still a gamble at the time. So when I bought the watch, I was a little bit nervous, but I took a flight right away to Jay's house, and it was like,
What was it like when you presented it to him?
just, you know, Jay's awesome. You know, just showed him the watch, told him a little bit about it.
Does he get
Told him-
excited?
Yeah, no, it's like a bit, you know, $3 million is a big purchase.
Sure.
You know,
Yeah.
no matter who you are.
But you got, so
Especially for a watch.
And that's my point. Like, to spend that much, no matter who
He's
you
gotta
are,
trust you.
You also have to love it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's more like you know, it's trust factors. Like when
Yeah.
you believe in somebody, it's like your stockbroker. Eventually, if you're dealing with a
Yeah, it's
stockbroker
true,
and
at
he's
that point.
constantly giving you winners,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like you trust them with your asset. It's the same type of situation with a watch guy. Like when you trust somebody, it's like he hasn't steered me wrong. You know, everything he's done has been exactly what he said.
That's
Same
amazing.
thing like with art. It's like he has people that does his art for him.
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
know what I'm saying? And you have to trust somebody, and like sometimes you don't even see the vision, but the person that you trust does. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely.
So it's like same thing with watches. Like when I came to him, I was like, Jay, I'm telling you, this is it. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, that it is the watch.
Well,
I
at
mean,
the
is.
time, it was probably the only one in the
Yeah.
country, too.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I've never seen one anywhere. you
No,
know? So when I
neither
had
have
the
I.
opportunity to buy it, I was like, oh, I was a little nervous, but I was like, all right, I'm gonna take this chance, you know.
Yeah.
And then you know, as soon as I brought it to him, he's like, I'm taking it.
Was it almost immediate? Was it like, yeah? I
Nah,
need
it
that?
wasn't even like a question.
Yeah.
He's like, I trust you, bro. You know,
Yeah.
let's do it.
That's awesome.
You know, and that watch.
That's
is
got to
fucking-
feel good, right?
that's fucking amazing
You've
to
arrived
watch.
to a place where you've turned your passion and into a business, but you've also moved it into a space where there are these people whom you interact with and you engage, and you know how important they are to society and culture and the arts, and they're telling you, I trust your taste level, I trust your opinion, and me investing in this piece is also investing in you.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like I said to you, the relationships is more important than any type of money.
Yeah,
You know, like the money comes, money goes, bro. You know,
facts.
up one day, down another day.
Mm-hmm.
But when you can look someone in their eye and they know that you never fucked them, and you know that you never did any type of malice or it had any ill intentions,
Right.
that goes beyond everything.
Yeah. Yes,
You
it
know what I'm
does.
saying? Because later in life, you never know. It's like you never want to burn bridges. or,
Absolutely,
you know,
yeah, yeah.
especially, you know, in this industry, it's like all about trust.
All about trust. Your
You know,
word
like
is everything.
people send you millions of dollars, you know, without even having anything. You know,
Yeah.
and you got to deliver something to them in a lot of cases.
Yeah, wow.
So it's all about trust, and
Yeah.
you know, you screw one person over in this industry,
Your reputation's
the word
done.
goes around quick. And
Yeah.
you know, to me, it's always been about integrity and you know, having anyone ever talking about me, it's always in a very positive light. And you know, and thank God, you know, like since I was since I've been in the industry, like every watch that I've sold, people have like come back to me and be like, thank you.
That's awesome.
You know, like there has never been a person be like, I bought this watch and now I'm down so much money. Why'd you sell me this thing? You know, like, and that to me is like, you know, the integrity portion of it is the most important thing, especially when you're dealing with high priced items, you know, high ticket items. You know, just want your reputation to be
A1.
Exactly.
What's your thoughts on vintage? Are you into vintage watches at all?
I'm not super into vintage watches because, you know, it's a very tricky game, vintage.
It is, yeah.
I sold a couple and then I find out that like, this is not right, and then that's not right, and then it comes back to integrity. Like, I don't want to sell something that I don't know.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So if I'm not 100% sure about what I'm putting on someone's wrist, I prefer not to sell it. And then it goes back to, no, I really want it.
Yeah.
All right, I'll find it for you. I'll find it for you because you're gonna go to someone else anyway that probably doesn't know what the hell they're doing. At least let me try to put it together.
Right.
You know, I know we sold Kev a couple of vintage pieces, you know.
Yeah, he rocked that. He was rocking that flywheel, I think, recently.
He's got a couple
AP
of vintage.
flywheel.
He got a couple of vintage Daytonas also.
Oh, yeah.
And
he
again,
has a Paul Newman. I think,
yeah. So, and again, it's like, when I was buying these things, I'm not 100% sure that it's the exact original buckle or original, you know, like, because that's not my wheelhouse. You know, I'm going on what other dealers are telling me.
Right.
So I prefer to know what I'm selling. So I try to steer away from it. But again, if someone's like, I need it, I'm gonna try to get it for them at the best of my ability. But it's not something that I can put like my 100% because I'm going off what other dealers are telling me.
Right.
Which, you know, and to be honest with you, a lot of these dealers don't have the same type of integrity that I have. You know what I'm saying? So they could be telling me, but I can't loop something and know for sure, oh, this is a 67 and they've never been changed, and you know, the strap matches the actual case. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not a professional in that field. So it becomes a little bit harder for me to sell those type of pieces because I'm not 100%. It's not authentic to me. So
no,
it's like I can't sell something that I'm not 100% sure that it is what it is. So it becomes a little bit more difficult. Do I like it? Yeah, I'm cool with it. Again, not my thing, like rocking wise. Like I'm not really so into rocking vintage watches. I like the newer stuff. I like new technology shit. Like that's why Purnell like really stuck out to me. They're the fastest tourbillons, 3 times faster than anything else. Like new technology. I'm like into technology. So like that's my thing. So I'm not super into vintage, but it's cool. You know, there's a huge market for it.
Definitely
you know, and to each its own, bro. That's the beauty about watches is like, you know, it's like it's personalized for each and every single person, like what they like. You know, what you like, I may not like. What he might like, I may not like. What I like, you may not like. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's the beauty about watches. We're all wearing different watches for a reason today. You know what I'm saying? Because everyone has their own taste.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? If we all walked into a room and everyone had on the same watch, it'd be boring, right?
Yeah, it's super boring.
So that's why, like, I bought these. Like, I could have bought a whole bunch of fucking RMs and shit.
That'd have been a flex too.
Oh, shit. But you know what I'm saying? Like,
the Purnell's a real flex.
That's something new. You know what I mean? Like something that not everyone's seen before, and it's like that's like, to me, that's cool. You know what I'm saying?
Being such a fan of Daytonas, how'd you feel about Newman's Daytona going for 18 million?
Sick.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah,
it serves him.
Well, I'm sure you've seen a couple of them like in your lifetime. That's
Yeah.
something you would have been like 18 million.
I would never think it.
Yeah.
I would never think it, but I would also not think that the 6300 would go for 30 million at auction, like that stainless steel one-off that they made. And like today, even like you try to get a 6300, you're talking about $8-9 million potentially.
And at retail, like you said, it's 2.5.
Yeah, 2.2 retail. It was like $8-9 million today, you know, at auction. Sotheby's. You know, so you go to Sotheby's, you see a 6300. If you ever see one, you're gonna pay $8-9 million.
Easy
for sure.
You know what I'm saying? So like.
That's before premiums, before tax, before any of that.
Yeah. So I mean, like, I would never think that. Like when I was,
it's amazing.
When I had the watch in my hand, I thought, you know, maybe one day it'd be worth 4.5. You know,
that's got to feel good too, though, when you put something on somebody's wrist, and then, you know, you're like, man, this is a great sale, great client, fantastic, and then boom, they call you and like, yo, this joint jumped up like 250%.
But see, now it's easier.
Yeah. Now you know.
Yes. Yeah, now you know.
It's like you were
Exactly.
taking a chance and like, oh,
Yeah.
you don't know, it could go up, it could go down. Like a lot of the watches at that time, there was never a time that you were buying a watch at retail and you would come back, flip it 6 months later, you're never making money on a watch.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was not something that you made money on.
Yeah.
Now you're making money on every watch.
Yeah, you
It's
are.
like if like Jay buys a Sapphire for $3 million, you turn around if he wanted to and sell it for $6 million the next day.
Yeah.
And we know that before we're buying it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he doesn't sell his watches, but you know what I'm saying? We know it's not like it was
Exactly.
when we
Yeah,
bought
it makes a
Patek.
decision
It's
easier.
a big difference. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, of course, like, it'd be stupid if you don't buy the watch
Right.
at a certain point because it's an asset at this point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And unless something crazy happens and the world turns upside down again,
Yeah.
it's always going to be value, a
Definitely,
lot more
right.
than what you paid for it. It's
Yeah,
like
for
buying a
sure.
house in Malibu, that's you can buy for 10 and it's worth 20.
Yeah.
You got to be an idiot not to buy it.
Yeah.
Even if you might not love the house, but
It's a great investment.
Yeah, when you talk about assets,
you're
there
talking
it is.
about investments. It's like it's a lot easier nowadays in the watch market.
Yeah.
Like if you have a connection with Francois and you have a good relationship with AP and you want a ceramic,
Yeah,
it's
it's cool.
$100
Oh, yeah,
grand.
exactly, yeah.
And as soon as you walk out, it's worth $300,000, $400,000, $500,000. It's a
Yes.
lot easier
For sure.
Yeah.
than what it was back in the days. You were not buying watches to make money off of watches,
Right. Yeah.
or thinking that they were appreciating asset because they never were.
Yeah.
Yes.
They
This
were
is a
just
whole
something that you
new-
like,
New thing.
and you don't mind spending, your extra money on it and putting it away, maybe for your kids or whatever it is. But
Yep.
you're not making money on watches. There was
Yeah.
no such thing as making money on watches.
True.
What are you looking for in terms of the future of your watch collecting? What's on your short list of,
Now,
of pieces to get?
I love RMs.
Okay.
That's my thing.
Okay.
I love RMs. I don't know what it is about them. They're just like, to me, RMs are super dope, and that's why I kind of like Purnell.
Yeah.
Is like
They're fun.
They're kind of like they're different. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And obviously they're the most expensive right now watches on the market.
They are.
pretty much.
They're
In
getting
terms
up
of
there.
like they only make 4,000 models a year, which I love. You're not going to see huge saturation of them out on the market compared to like companies like AP. Making 50, I think 60,000 now.
Yeah, I think they're
But-
making 40. Patek's making like 60.
yeah, 40, and you
Yeah.
got Patek making 60, and you got Rolex making $1 million. So I know with RM, like, and when it comes to like storing your value, I feel like that's probably your best place because of the amount of quantities that they output, and just like how hard it is to actually get them for retail. So I feel like that's a great, in terms of a place to put your money. I feel like it's a great place to invest your money when it comes to watches. And I just love the aesthetic look. Like I said, I'm very sporty.
Yeah.
And I just love the way RMs look, Same thing with Pateks. Like I'm super into Nautiluses, which I never was like
What changed for
8
you?
years ago. I don't know.
He found
recently
the one.
just
He found the one he liked.
and it's like I'm definitely getting the rose gold version of this. I'm gonna try to get Aquanaut, the 5968, the bigger.
Your chronograph.
The
yeah.
chrono, yeah.
The
You
bigger
like it in
one.
steel and gold.
I think I'm gonna get white gold one.
Yeah, blue or green.
The green?
Maybe blue.
Yeah, I like the blue better than the
blue.
green on Patek.
Yeah,
and
my
I
wife's
usually
got
prefer green.
the green with the diamond bezel for the
Nice.
the ladies one. Yeah, I mean, again, my favorite watches right now still are just RMs and Pateks.
Awesome.
If I had to pick one watch to wear forever,
Pat.
it'd probably be an RM.
RM. Oh,
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
But Patek is right.
You have a specific reference
Right there.
in mind?
I love the 1103s, the RM 1103s.
Yeah.
I love them. They're discontinued now,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
just love that watch. That's really the watch that really, the RM11 is the one that got me into I should have brought that, but the one that got me into it, and like the first RM that I bought, I think was the Nadal, actually. The first
That's a
Nadal.
good one.
The first Nadal. We were in Aruba. I couldn't believe that I was about to pay $120,000 for a watch. It was like blowing my mind. Like, am I really gonna do this? My
Yeah.
wife's looking at me like,
we're already here. It's going down.
And my friend
Yes.
bought at that time a 5980 at the store,
Yeah.
like there, and this was just like when RM was just like really starting, like to like
Yeah.
Make some noise.
Yeah.
make some
Really,
waves,
yeah,
you know what I'm
branch
saying?
out.
So it was, you know, and at that time, even at that time, like I overpaid for it, you know, because you could find them on 47th Street for like $100,000. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I just loved the watch.
That's awesome.
You know, so to me, I didn't care about it was so much about the money situation. It was just about find something that you love. You know, that strap, man.
Once
like,
you put it on, you
feeling
just
nothing
know.
and just like, wow, you couldn't even believe this is a $120,000 machine on your wrist. And at that time, nobody really knew. So you don't have to worry about wearing them. And like nowadays, I'm scared to even bring my watches out. Like some of them, you know, just because I don't have insurance anymore on my, because I was doing, when I had the jewelry business, I had a whole bunch of insurance, so I don't have that anymore. And insuring the watches.
Insuring watches is expensive.
It's very expensive. And it's just like, honestly, like when I did have the insurance and I had a situation, they didn't want to pay me because of whatever reason it was, a whole story. But you have to settle with them for half of what the watch costs. So I was like, I'm not doing this no more.
Yeah.
Just rather be careful and just like, you know.
Yeah.
Not walk around like a dummy.
I want to ask you, because you are a serial entrepreneur. These guys will probably poke fun at me because I always talk about the future.
You want to say something about the metaverse?
Wait. So I know you invested a lot, and now you've moved on from jewelry and watches, and you have other ventures that you've made public. Is that something you're into as well?
Yeah, I got into NFTs and some crypto stuff during the pandemic, which I regret.
Oh God, yeah, I know.
Which I
Not just
regret
you.
right now. I mean, only regret because financially, you know, I bought a
Yeah.
bunch of shit that's worth 10 cents on the dollar what I bought it at, you know, so it's cool. I don't know what I was thinking. I was really bored during the pandemic. And
That's what happened with watches. We were bored and started reading shit online.
yeah, and like I just ended up buying a bunch of NFTs, you know, like in my mind it's just, I don't understand it. You know, I'm paying $50,000 for a picture of a frog. You know, that's worth maybe $2,000 today.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So like to me, I made a lot of bad decisions jumping into something that I know nothing about. You know what I mean? Is there a future in it? And maybe 20, 30 years from now, when my kids are going to college and stuff, the frog is going to be worth
It might be
$1 million.
Exactly.
I'll be back and tell you, hey, that was the best thing I ever did. You know?
Yes.
But as of right now, I just feel like pure idiot that I.
So are you sitting on them?
Yeah, I mean, I can't sell it now.
Can't sell them now. Once you sell, that's the loss.
Worthless. You know.
I'm not trying to actualize that.
Yeah. So it's just like, I'm just sitting on a bunch of worthless stuff right now. I got obviously like everyone else some Bitcoin and some Ethereum, but I'm not really too heavy into it.
Yeah.
Just something that if it does happen to pop, it does.
Yeah.
But it's not something. I felt like the correlation though with the Bitcoin, like when Bitcoin is up, the watch market is really flying.
It was. Yeah. They were.
So I feel like
pretty
it goes
well
pretty
tethered
hand
together,
in hand,
yeah.
you know. But everything at the time was
was up.
flying. Yeah. So I was like the whole world was just like up. Now everything's starting to come back to reality a little bit.
We still got watches.
Yeah, exactly. But at the worst case scenario, I can put this on my wrist and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can't enjoy
do the
this
picture of the
stupid picture of a frog.
You can't even
and
touch
look at it on my phone and be like, what was I thinking, man? And then I got an answer to my wife. Like, what were you thinking? You know, you bought a frog for $50,000. A picture of one, nonetheless.
That's
He's just
good.
like staring at you.
What the fuck is going on in this world? They're like, how do you even rationalize that? It's like, I must have smoked a lot of weed that day.
My man Alex, this has been a true pleasure. I appreciate you joining us tonight.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me. Man.
You know, it's funny because we had a really good friend on the show that connected us, Ronaldo Nehemiah, amazing watch collector out of Atlanta, stylist. And it's funny because Ronaldo started watching the show early and supporting very early on. And when we had finally got him on, he was always saying, "Man, you got to be Alex. You got to be Alex."
Yes.
And when the Sotheby's Lux edit, you know, was coming about, and we connected with our people here in the watch department, we were looking for a guest, and I was talking to Ronaldo, and he was like, "Yo, this is perfect. Like, we got to introduce you." So, you know, for someone like yourself, who is as established and as a storied career as you have, to come and join us tonight, Much appreciated. You're a legend in the culture.
Appreciate it, man.
The things that you've accomplished just as a fellow New Yorker, Brooklynite.
Yes.
Yes,
We
sir.
appreciate you. And I think it's important that you know that your contributions to the culture and your love and affection for watches has, is in part responsible for this. This exists on the back of you and others like you
Appreciate
who
it.
have sort of laid down the path already. So
I wish you guys all the best. Lots
Thank
of
you.
luck with this. This is great. I'm happy that you guys are connecting to the culture. You don't see a lot of people, brown, black, and
Yep.
in this world. It's great to see that you guys are doing it, and
Thank you.
keep it up, bro. You know what I'm saying? And you guys connect to the culture, which is the most important thing. That's what drives everything.
appreciate you.
Yes.
Yeah.
For those of
Thank
you
you, my
watching
man.
and listening, you know where to find us on Instagram at RichCheckPod. You can watch us on YouTube. You can listen and watch us on Spotify. We're also available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and there'll be some more content coming soon. The Sotheby's Luxury Edit auction goes live on March 7th. But before then, during the first week of March, those first 6-7 days, you can come here to Sotheby's and see everything live and in person. They have an amazing staff. They're incredibly hospitable. And you can try on watches. They also have luxury bags, and
Lots
jewelry.
of Birkin bags going on. Lots of Birkins.
So I encourage you to stop by. And this was episode 49. We'll see you next week.
Peace.
Deuces.